Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk, your daily dose of great books from around the globe. Today, I'm introducing the book Willpower.
In life, we all suffer from a lack of willpower, like swearing to diet but giving up after 2 days for a feast, or abandoning a gym membership after just 2 visits. Determined to sleep early, yet scrolling phones in bed every night.
Yet some people run marathons, complete triathlons, fast for 44 days, or endure ice baths for 60 plus hours. Why do people have such vastly different levels of willpower? What exactly is willpower? How can we strengthen it? The book Willpower answers these questions through psychological experiments. First, let's meet the authors. Co-authored by Roy Baumeister, a pioneering psychologist in willpower research, and John Tierney, a New York Times science columnist. Baumeister has published 450-plus papers and ranks among the most cited psychologists globally. The book became an international bestseller upon release. It won Amazon's 2011 Best Psychology Book and earned endorsements for Martin Seligman and Steven Pinker. The 160,000-word book contains 10 chapters. I'll distill its essence through 3 key perspectives. Willpower is like a muscle, trainable through scientific methods for life success. First, why is cultivating willpower so hard? Second, what factors affect willpower? Third, how to develop willpower. Let's start with the first challenge. Why building willpower is difficult. What is willpower? The book defines it as conscious self-control ability. Researcher Roy Baumeister discovered that cultivating willpower is particularly difficult because it's like a muscle. It has 2 key characteristics. First, willpower isn't constant, it gets depleted. Second, willpower can be strengthened through training. Let's start with the first point. Willpower isn't constant. Baumeister's research revealed willpower fluctuates like muscle fatigue.
Once depleted, it can't support your actions anymore.
What does this mean exactly? Let's examine Baumeister's famous radish experiment. In this experiment, hungry college students faced fresh cookies and raw radishes. Students were split into 2 groups, cookie eaters and radish eaters. None cheated. Results surprised researchers. Radish group members resisted cookie temptation despite drooling. This was only half the experiment. Students then attempted unsolvable geometry problems, pretending to test intelligence, actually measuring persistence. Cookie eaters lasted 20 minutes. Radish group would quit after 8 minutes. This proves willpower fatigues like muscles after use. Resisting cookies left less willpower for problem solving.
Explains why dieting feels impossible. As dieting drains willpower, junk food becomes irresistible, and gym trips harder.
Stanford Sock experiment by Daryl Bem confirms Baumeister's findings. Students simply track 2 daily tasks: homework and sock wearing. The second task was wearing clean socks. Surprisingly, no student maintained both habits. They couldn't both complete homework on time and change socks daily. This phenomenon mirrors common real-life struggles. Every semester starts with goals, like exercising regularly and eating healthy.
But these habits get abandoned during final exams.
Willpower's second characteristic. It can be strengthened through training. Though finite, our willpower capacity can expand with practice. How does this work? Imagine only lifting 30 pounds initially. After consistent training, 60 pounds becomes manageable. Willpower works similarly. Researchers tested people wanting to improve fitness, study habits, and finances through STOM plans. Tasks included daily exercise, homework routines, and budget tracking. After weeks, all participants showed improved self-control scores. Those focusing on homework also exercised more and spent less money unexpectedly. This shows willpower training in one area enhances overall self-control. That concludes our first key point today. Willpower has two core characteristics. First, willpower fluctuates, like muscle fatigue.
This explains why building willpower feels so difficult.
Because willpower cultivation consumes willpower itself. But the second characteristic offers hope, like muscle training. We can strengthen willpower through systematic practice. Understanding willpower's nature brings us to the book's second key point. What factors affect it? Baumeister identifies 3 influencing factors: physiological, psychological, and environmental. First, let's examine physiological factors. What's the hardest thing to maintain in daily life? The first word that comes to mind might be dieting. Everyone knows dieting boils down to eating less and moving more.
Yet these 6 simple words prove incredibly difficult to follow. Even strong-willed individuals often fail at weight management.
Oprah Winfrey serves as a famous example of dieting struggles. As one of the world's most influential women, worth $2.9 billion, her Oprah Winfrey Show dominated TV ratings for 16 consecutive years. Her rags to riches story inspires millions worldwide.
Yet she's battled weight issues throughout her career. Early in her career, stress increased her weight from 110 to 126 pounds.
A nutritionist created a 1,200-calorie diet plan for her. She regained her original weight within a month,
but soon rebounded to heavier than before. Repeated diet attempts followed by failures became cyclical. Eventually, her weight surpassed 220 pounds. "I can't believe I'm still discussing my weight after decades," she lamented.
Oprah isn't alone in this struggle. Baumeister analyzed dozens of strong-willed individuals showing reduced willpower in dieting. Psychological studies consistently reached the same conclusion.
Dieters won't maintain continuous weight loss through willpower alone. Many ask, "Why don't I lose weight despite eating so little?"
The secret lies in glucose. Digested food produces monosaccharides, fueling bodily functions. Muscles, immune system, and willpower all need glucose. Psychologists tested gamers in an experiment. Group A drank sugary beverages. Group B, sugar-free alternatives.
As game difficulty increased, frustration grew.
Sugar group players better controlled emotions and continued playing. Non-sugar group started cursing and hitting computers. Glucose converts into neurotransmitters for brain signaling. Depleted neurotransmitters halt cognitive functions.
No glucose means no willpower. This explains dieting failures.
Starvation depletes willpower reserves, triggering sugar cravings. But why lack willpower despite eating enough? This introduces Baumeister's ego depletion concept. Ego depletion weakens behavioral regulation gradually. Like marathon runners losing stamina over time. Ego depletion impairs anterior cingulate cortex function. This area detects gaps between intentions and actions. Without discrepancy detection, behavior correction fails.
Daily stressors like sleep deprivation drain willpower silently.
The second factor affecting willpower is psychological elements. Baumeister identifies 4 psychological components: self-awareness, emotion, belief, and self-esteem. Let's start with self-awareness. A Halloween experiment tested children's candy intake without mirrors. With covered mirrors. Most children took extra candies. Visible mirrors doubled compliance with candy rules. Self-realization enhances alignment with personal ideals. Next, emotional influence. George Lowenstein's hot-cold empathy gap theory explains emotional states.
Example, urbanites in survival situations may abandon moral codes.
This principle applies to willpower estimation.
We overestimate willpower when calm, creating unrealistic plans.
Example, creating extreme diet plans after meals.
Hunger reveals the harsh reality of such plans.
Third, psychological factor, belief systems. Religious adherents show better habit formation. Reason 1. Rituals like meditation build willpower through practice. Reason 2. Perceived divine surveillance enhances self-monitoring. Prayer before meals exemplifies ritual-based discipline. Theistic belief creates 24/7 behavioral accountability. Thus, they follow rules more easily than non-believers. The final psychological factor affecting willpower is self-esteem. Many view high self-esteem as advantageous for initiative and success.
But excessive self-esteem cultivation may harm willpower development.
An experiment divided underperforming students into affirmation and control groups. The affirmation group scores dropped from 59 to 39. Baumeister notes self-esteem theory's 30-year popularity in America. This theory posits self-worth as primary success determinant. Millions of parents adopted constant praise strategies.
Paradoxically, rising self-esteem correlated with declining academic performance.
High self-esteem individuals often reject feedback and overestimate abilities.
This leads to deficient delayed gratification training.
A key characteristic emerges: poor self-control. Now, examining environmental factors affecting willpower. Psychologist Stanley found environment order affects self-discipline. Group A answered questions in tidy rooms. Group B in chaotic environments face immediate vs delayed reward choices. Tidy room participants preferred delayed, larger rewards. Baumeister explains order activates automatic mental processes. Automatic mental processes are essentially what we commonly call habits. Established habits require no willpower expenditure. Experienced drivers don't consciously think about mirrors or gears. Automatic processes eliminate willpower consumption. This conserves willpower for disciplined actions. Environmental influence on ego depletion is universally relatable.
Leaders suffer when colleagues indulge in desserts nearby.
Common solutions include leaving the area or requesting restraint. This demonstrates environmental impact on self-control.
Proximity to temptation accelerates willpower depletion.
We've covered 3 willpower influencers: physiological, psychological, environmental. Glucose levels directly affect willpower capacity. Psychological aspects: self-awareness, emotion, belief, self-esteem. Environmental opination aids willpower cultivation. Now let's discuss targeted willpower enhancement strategies. First, maintain glucose levels through proper nutrition. But not all foods affect glucose equally. High glycemic foods, like bread, cause rapid glucose spikes. Insulin overcompensation leads to energy crashes.
Sudden blood sugar drops impair willpower.
Low glycemic foods like veggies, nuts, and fish maintain stable willpower reserves. Secondly, prioritize quality sleep. Rest reduces glucose demand and enhances metabolic efficiency.
Impaired glucose processing leads to energy waste and health risks.
Reserve willpower for critical tasks by avoiding overload. Example: don't quit alcohol while dieting, or diet during finals week. Small goals matter, like switching speaking habits or using your left hand. Willpower training in any area boosts overall self-control. Avoid conflicting objectives.
Benjamin Franklin failed his virtue chart due to this mistake.
Franklin's 13-week plan targeted 12 virtues like temperance and frugality.
The plan ultimately failed.
Conflicting virtues undermined his efforts. Moderation clashed with justice in practice.
Opposing goals drain willpower reserves dramatically.
Behavior monitoring counters psychological, environmental influences. Quantification is key to effective monitoring. As previously mentioned, self-awareness impacts willpower levels. Self-quantification reveals gaps between actual and ideal states. Quantification means recording specific progress metrics. Track exact distances run, words written, vocabulary memorized, not vague achievements. Baumeister suggests pre-commitment as another monitoring method. Pre-commitment requires setting unambiguous behavioral boundaries. Set concrete rules like 50 milliliters, alcohol max instead of vague moderation. Pre-commitment proves crucial in childhood willpower development. Asian Americans constitute 4% population, but 25% Ivy League students with 25% higher postgrad income. Researchers attribute this to Asian parenting styles. Effective parenting involves setting clear boundaries. Western parents often prioritize comfort over discipline. Asian parents implement conditional reward system. New car requires academic excellence first. Candy only after homework completion. Studies confirm this approach. Builds childhood self-control. Environmental pre-commitment means removing temptation access. Implement test-in method. Simply increase physical distance from temptations. Experiment. Women farther from chocolate bowls showed stronger resistance. So stay away from what you're trying to quit.
If you gamble, avoid tables. Don't assume self-control when calm, nor rely on friends to stop you.
The best solution is complete avoidance. Leverage social monitoring through family, friends, support groups, or public commitment online. Parental influence deserves special emphasis.
Children from single-parent households show weaker willpower due to reduced monitoring capacity. Single parents juggling work, housekeeping naturally provide less supervision.
This concludes our third segment. How to boost willpower. Ensure glucose intake and minimize unnecessary depletion. Implement pre-commitment strategies and social accountability. We've now covered the core concepts of willpower. Key summary. Understanding willpower's nature, its influencing factors, and cultivation methods. First, willpower fatigues like muscle tissue. Cultivation consumes willpower itself.
This explains its inherent difficulty.
Second, 3 influence categories: biological, psychological, environmental. Glucose levels directly affect willpower capacity. Psychological aspects: self-awareness, emotion, belief, self-esteem. Strong self-awareness, faith, enhance. Willpower high, self-esteem, harms it. Third, itinerant strategies. Glucose management, SMART goals, behavior tracking. A successful life requires willpower, but its benefits extend far beyond personal success. Psychologists find strong-willed individuals more likely to help others and engage in charity work. As Baumeister states, willpower makes humans unique and drives collective progress. That concludes our exploration of willpower. Full notes below. Until next time.